Howdy y'all, this is Pete. You know, when it gets to be about this time of year, I think back to my first Christmas that my wife and I shared together as a family, and it was special. It's one of my favorite memories. And when we first got together, about a month after we got married, we got us a puppy, and his name was Bo. And I know, being from the South, you think that I named it after Bo Duke or somebody like that, but I really didn't. His name was spelled B-E-A-U, and believe it or not, I'd wanted a basset hound for so long. I named him after Hugh Beaumont, Leave It to Beaver's dad. I loved the name, and I loved that guy, and I wanted to name my first dog after him. And I don't know why I wanted a basset hound, but I did. I really don't know how it came up or when I was a child. I really don't know, but I always wanted one. And after we got married, my wife wanted a Cocker Spaniel, and what I wanted was a basset hound, and I begged her. And she gave in, and we got Bo. And our first Christmas together had to be perfect. I mean, it just had to be perfect. We were a little family. We were man and wife and their dog, and a little tiny house in Fraser, Tennessee. And buddy, it was a small house. I mean, it was about a room and a half and a living room and a bathroom. I mean, that was about it. But it was home, and we were proud of it. And we were happy. I mean, we were happy to be in there. So, but that first Christmas had to be special. And, you know, we went around looking for our first Christmas tree, and we went everywhere. I mean, man, for a week we looked. We went out and we picked up trees. And let me tell you something. Me personally, I bet I picked up 100 trees. My wife would give me this little look. You know, that one looks all right. And I'd pick it up. She goes, shake it down. I'd tap it on the ground and knock the limbs would fall down, you know. And she'd be like, no, that ain't right. So we go look at another one. Look at another one. I know we did 100. I know I personally picked up 100 trees. But look, she finally looked at it and did a little cross look at it. She said, that's it. That's the one. And we took it home. And got it home, didn't even fit in the door. And not only that, I had to cut like the bottom third of the tree off, and once I did that, we got it in the door, but went to put up up in the corner where we were going to put it. Thing kept falling over because it was so big around, so I had to chop off the back of it so it would fit. But anyway, every decoration had to be perfect, and every light had to be perfect, and it was our first tree, and these were our decorations, and you know, 23 years later, we still have pretty much all those decorations too, so it was special. But when it came to topping the tree off, it couldn't just be any angel. It couldn't be a beautiful angel with wings and a white robe and a halo. It had to be something that nobody else had. So we looked high and low, and we went all over the place. And there's a little store around here called Goldsmiths, or it used to be. I think that's still here. No, it's Macy's now, but I'm sorry. Anyway, Goldsmiths, and we were up on the second level of that store, walking through all their little Christmas presentations and all the things that they had, and on the edge of one tree, there it was. It was this little bear, and that bear had a red dress on, or a gown, whatever an angel wears, robe, and bright gold wings and a bright gold halo, and it was about, that big, and just cute as a button. And she knew that was it immediately, and by God, that was going on top of her tree. She was happy. So we got it home, and we made sure everything was decorated. And you know, the funny thing about it was that tree was so bad, the only way that I could get it to stay where I wanted it to stay was I took fishing line, and I put a nail in a window facing, and put a nail in a door facing, or molding, and tied it off so it wouldn't fall down, fall forward, you know. And we had it all looking pretty, and we were so proud of ourselves. I mean, we were just as proud as we could be. And little Bo, he'd gotten pretty big, and he enjoyed the whole thing, and he'd run around with us. And when we were done, we thought, why don't we take a minute and enjoy this, you know? And we fixed a little place with some blankets on the ground, on the floor, And we all snuggled up as a family, laid on the floor, and looked at our pretty Christmas tree. And buddy, it was pretty. I still remember it. And I think we turned on the Christmas music and turned off the lights and sat there and just enjoyed it for a while. And something we still do to this day. We still enjoy that Christmas tree. But one thing that you people that own live Christmas trees, I'm sure you know already, but we didn't know it. Underneath that live Christmas tree, you put a bucket of water. The holder has a place to hold water, and we got a big one so the tree wouldn't die. And so it was plumb full of water. And sometime in the middle of the night, I guess the dog decided he was thirsty. And about the point I woke up, and I was trying to figure out what that noise was, and realized it was the dog that had wedged himself under the tree to drink the water. Next thing I know, I open my eyes and there's a bear coming right at my face, coming right at me, and it looked like he was on fire from the light shining on him, and I saw this flaming bear of death coming at my forehead, and before I could scream like a little girl, the whole tree fell on top of me. And let me tell you, that wasn't bad. It's a tree, but what made it worse was the water that was in the bottom of that stuff went right down on the floor on that blanket and came right up between my legs, and it went, yep, it did. And it was ice cold, let me tell you. That's a rude awakening. Let me tell you. So I learned a couple of things that Christmas. You know, there were some lessons to be learned there. Number one, we have a fake tree now. We don't have a tree where a dog can drink out of the bottom of it. Number two, always fix your little area where you're going to lay down away from the tree. I mean, it took me a week to get the sap off of me. I couldn't get it off of me. I tried. I couldn't get it off of me. And not only, I mean, it smelled good. I smelled like Christmas tree wherever I went. But the other thing was I had to take Christmas ornaments out of my chest where they had broken and stuck in there, you know. Anyway, that was our first Christmas together, and I remember that, you know. But what's cool about that was I'd come home. My wife worked days and I worked nights, and I'd come home and there'd be that Christmas tree in the mornings, and we had a little baby gate set up in the door so Bo couldn't get over into it, you know. And I'd come home and old Bo would be sitting there just looking at me wagging in his tail because he wanted to play. It was time to play. That's a mighty fine memory right there, let me tell you. But also, let me tell you like this, you know, it's been a long time since we've left that little house in Fraser. And I lost my Bo back in 2002. And you know, if I really believe in Christmas, if I truly believe in what Christmas really represents, I'm going to see him again. I will. And you know something? What's cool about that is the heaven that I believe in, when I get up there, that little booger, he's going to be sitting at that gate waiting on me, wagging his tail, and he's going to be waiting for me finally to come home. And he's going to say, hey, it's time to play. And you know something? That's a mighty fine thought right there. That just warms me down to my soul. Well, look, Merry Christmas, y'all. And God bless you.